Hello there, this is Mikhail or Michael speaking, and today without further ado, I will cover the situation in Ukraine. First, we will start with Bakhmut and then move ourselves around where most notable things had happened. So, as you can see, no changes on the map when it comes to Russian advancements. However, the gray area has changed. The reports are coming in that the Wagner forces are continuously fighting for this entire sector right here. Very heavy fighting are reported here, as well as they are attacking in this direction towards Avangard Stadium right here. They're also attacking from this directions as well as here and here. There are reports coming in that Ukrainians are completely abandoning this salient and retreating, so we need to wait for more confirmation on this. To the southwest, we have Avdiivka village, where Russians are attacking in general direction of it, as well as around it right here. Russians were attacking in this direction in the attempt of capturing these three hills. They had captured first one some time ago, but Ukrainians had counter-attacked Russians in this sector, and as of right now, Russians are stopped. Going to the north of Bakhmut, we can see that the map didn't update it yet. I think we will see that change maybe next update or one after that. Russians had reached this street right here a few days ago and now are fighting in this entire sector with Ukrainian forces. For a better demonstration of what I'm talking about, I will use Live UA map, as it is, as you can see, really good at depicting streets and certain buildings. So Russians had once again reached this street and now fighting beyond it. So it is safe to say that this entire sector is controlled by the Russian forces. There are reports of heavy battles in the school right here, as well as this sector right here. As for the factory here, Russians again are controlling much more territory than this map implies. About half of this entire plant is captured. Heavy battles are happening in the underground tunnels. Russians are pushing out Ukrainians out of the whole facility. So perhaps in a few days we will see the entire factory captured by the Russian forces. Again, this map depicts that there are heavy fighting, as you can see in this sector. I want to touch on one subject that was noted to me in the last video. I said that this sector that contains a lot of high-raised concrete buildings is easy to destroy with heavy bombs and artillery. You are completely right. The problem is, to my shock and to my surprise, there are still a lot of civilians left in Bakhmut. And how I know it is because the place where I live, there is a lot of Ukrainian churches. And I know a lot of Ukrainians who, with their churches, are sending people and food, warm clothes, and electric generators to other Christians who live in Bakhmut. There are several Baptist Christian churches in Bakhmut, and a lot of their attenders are not leaving Bakhmut, and what's sad, with their children as well. So they're staying with their entire families. They're not agreeing to evacuate. The Russians are asking them, the Ukrainians are asking them, they are staying in the city. Why? Well, I don't know. Anyway, so this is a bit of a life story from me, from real people. From here we go slightly to the north, where Russians are attacking in the general direction of the village of Avdiivka, as well as Avdiivka. No changes are reported, so Russians are slowly but surely are grinding their way to those settlements. The battle for Orikhovo-Vasiliivka is still ongoing. Russians are attacking once again from both directions, and about half of it is under the Russian control. The other half is controlled by Ukrainian forces. This situation had not changed for some time now. Ukrainians fighting heavily for this village, but once again, even if this village is taken, Russians will have even harder time attacking Minikivka, as it is much better situated and is easier to defend due to extensive forest lines and its overall location. Russians are as well attacking along this road and fortifying these positions right here. Reports are still coming in that Russians are assuming that Ukrainians might counterattack here to save overall situation north of Bakhmut. From here we go down to the Avdiivka front. As you can see, nothing had changed. Well, apart from this region right here, Novobakhmutivka, where Russians had captured the last remaining of that village and had established stronger positions all along this railroad and had opened their abilities to attack. And by the way, Russians are reporting that they are now attacking in the direction of Novokalinova. Again, from Krasnokharivka, Russian forces not only had established strong defensive positions, but also are attacking in all directions. A few days ago, they had crossed this railroad and now fighting for the Stepova and Birduchi village. It's hard to say how much land Russia controls in this region, but it's safe to say that this entire region is heavily contested by the Russian forces, and it could be confirmed that Russians are already controlling all that land. From the south, the Russians are continuously attacking from Apitne and had captured the set of trenches in this overall sector. Reports are coming in that there is only one left before Avdiivka itself, and the battle for those set of trenches had already started. The Russians are also attacking from Vodyane towards village of Severne and Tonenke. Again, all this is clearly a pincer movement in order to, first of all, operationally encircle Avdiivka. Very little roads are left that lead to this settlement, so Russians are very close to achieve that goal. I say that with the fall of Tonenke and Severne, as well as this factory right here and maybe Lastishkina village right here, Avdiivka will be fully encircled with no way of breaking through Russian encirclement. From Avdiivka, we will go to the other front where changes had occurred. Not on this map as they had not updated, but the Russians are reporting that they had captured some land near village of Verkhokaminsky. So Russians are advancing from Zlatarivka towards settlement right here, and they are battling with Ukrainians in the outskirts and will soon enter this settlement. The Russian forces are tangled in positional fighting in Bilokharivka region, as well as Russians are attacking along the entire Liman front. Some success was reported near Zarichny village right here. Russians are claiming that they had captured several trench systems to the north of Torske, so we might see a map change and maybe Russians will start fighting for these two settlements in a day or two. From here we go all the way down past Avdiivka. No changes in Pervomaisky and Develsky. Russians are continuously attacking towards this settlement as well as this settlement. Ukrainians are repelling their attacks, however. Generally, situation is such that Russians are developing more and more troops from the reserves, and this had already shown in the Avdiivka right here, so we might see more positive change for the Russians on this front. From here we go slightly down, where we see the city of Marinka. Pobeda is not yet captured, as well as Russians had not been able to capture this portion of Marinka. Heavy fighting in the sector of Marinka itself continues. It's hard to say who's winning exactly, as Russians and Ukrainians are equally motivated to win over this battle. From Marinka we go down, where Russians are continuously attacking towards Novomukhalivka, but again no map changes suggests that the battle in the outskirts is still ongoing. From here we go to Vuglidar, where no changes is reported as of right now on this map, but reports are coming in that Russians are slightly pushing Ukrainians out of this entire Dacha area, as well as attacking in the direction of the mines and the city itself. And the last one on our list is Orikhiv direction, where Russians were for some time attacking towards Novodanilovka, and from reports that were coming in even captured some of the settlement, but Ukrainians had counter-attacked, and there are reports that they are controlling about half of this settlement. So neither Russians had completely retreated from it or battling out for the control of the settlement with Ukrainians. This happened just recently, so it's hard to say for certain. So anyway, this is it for today. Thank you very much for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting, as it is good for algorithms. Overall, thank you all for your support and feedback, especially to all those who donated through Super Thanks. You hold a special place in my heart. So I hope you have a good day, and always remember, Russia will be free.